Today I found out that gaming has taken another massive L from one of the companies that we've all grown to love and enjoy. Well, some of us at least. Valve. So my hatred for the Valve greed is growing every day. I don't think we really realize to the extent of what Counter-Strike 2 is in the likes of just a gambling game. It's a fun game on its own, but it hooks people in gambling wise as well, so that's another big factor which should probably really be looked at, because there's plenty of videos on that. I'm not going to go into that. It's just starting to really bother me, all of this crap. Today I found out that back in mid-May, Classic Offensive was cancelled days before release. Valve decided that it would be a great idea to approve Classic Offensive back in 2017 and then wait until just a couple of days prior to put a cease and desist on it. That was something that I think I can speak for everyone on, that we were really looking forward to. I know I definitely was. As I'm currently playing through this Counter-Strike Condition Zero series, I realise how fundamentally awesome the early games were, and it just would have been great to get a piece of that back in a modern setting, in a modern game. A little bit like Half-Life Alyx. Is it Alyx? Half-Life Alyx? Whatever came out in 2020. That was an awesome idea. So it'd be really cool if Counter-Strike could do something similar. But they don't want to get people off the gambling website that is Counter-Strike 2. For those of you who don't know about Classic Offensive, how about we watch the trailer so that if you don't know, you can see what we're missing out on. I just want to pause it there. They had bazookas in this. That would have been awesome. Anyway. More like get out of there, I'm gonna blow. So for those who missed out, that is what we're all missing out on. I think it was 3 or 4 days before it was released, they decided, you know what, let's backpedal a bit and put a cease and desist on this. So basically it was Counter-Strike Source and 1.6 had a baby with CSGO. That essentially what it was. It had the CSGO maps, all the classic Counter-Strike Source guns and similar movement, as well as 1.6 sound effects and whatnot. And other elements of 1.6 as well. So this is the statement that was released, which I saw on Reddit this morning. I didn't actually know that this was cancelled until today, and it was cancelled back in May. After 8 years of development, and despite being officially greenlit by Valve in 2017, we are devastated to announce the cancellation of Classic Offensive. This decision follows abrupt actions by Valve that prevent us from releasing or continuing development on the project. This just goes back to the whole stop killing games thing. They don't want this because it might take people off the gambling website. It just blows my mind. Look, I just don't understand why they didn't back this completely. Following our green light approval 7 years ago, we were granted Steamworks access and continued development, navigating technical challenges and CSGO updates, all with the clear expectation of bringing Classic Offensive to the community via Steam. We submitted our build to review in October 2024, only to have the project unexpectedly rejected in January 2025, with the generic response stating it was not a good fit, disregarding our prior greenlight status. What a kick in the teeth for these guys. I genuinely feel really bad for these guys. Imagine spending that much time on a game only for them to turn around and reject it 7 years later. Valve's current stance appears to be that modding is only allowed under the very narrow conditions. Skins and maps published through Steam Workshop for a currently active Valve game. Maps developed using Valve Hammer Editor, distributed on the Steam Workshop or third parties. Original non-commercial games created with Source SDK 2013 that do not use Valve's IP. Mods based on Half-Life 2 or Team Fortress 2 using Source SDK 2013 within defined guidelines. This interpretation effectively prohibits community-driven source mods or skins that have been integral to Valve's games for decades, including those for Counter-Strike, Left 4 Dead, Portal, Day of Defeat, that could only be distributed outside of Steam and its workshop. This position stands in stark contrast of Valve's own greenlight approval of Classic Offensive, their historical tolerance and benefit from extensive modding communities, and the previous 3 decades of modding tradition that has shaped many of the successful games. Many careers, features, and game modes originated from Counter-Strike's community mods, yet modding keeps becoming incredibly restricted. Stop killing games. This is part of it, man. Not only do they just want to take games off us, they want to stop us from making games like our own fun thing. And that's what this is all about. They don't want the community to have it and love it and mold it into something. Like, everything that we just saw in the trailer is all classic stuff. Like, it's what we all love. Why doesn't Valve get on board and say, hey, let's do this together. Let's make this thing happen. It'll be great for the game. Anyway, I digress. I'm incredibly disappointed with Valve today. I hardly ever play CS2 anymore just because it's bothering me that much. Let me make myself bigger here. Anyway, lads, I just wanted to bang on about this because my channel is very Counter-Strike orientated. And I'm incredibly disappointed, and I'm sure that you guys are too. We have talked about this on the stream. Not the cancellation, but that this was upcoming, and it was nothing but excitement. I was so excited, and I don't know how I didn't hear that it was cancelled prior to this, but better late than never, lads. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next video. I'm gonna try not to cry for the rest of the day.